One invention in the 19th century has led to people keeping later hours in the 21st century. For a long time before that, we worked in the day and headed home to rest when it was night.
The invention in conversation was the bright idea, literally, of one Thomas Edison, who in 1880 invented the light bulb. More than a symbol of the industrial age, the humble light bulb has gone above and beyond to create a new breed of people, the Nocturnals.
High-speed transport, round-the-clock entertainment, breakfast at any time of the day, information at the touch of a button. These are the signs of our time. Modern inventions in a modern society empower us with the provision to do more, so much more we cannot even begin to imagine. The choices and the possibilities at our disposal are endless. It's brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Problem is, to do all that, we are sleeping less and less.
In this installment of Chasing Sleep, we look at the trappings of a modern society, sleep deprivation. I call in on cognitive neuroscientist Professor Michael Chi. I will also have the sleepless task of being sleep deprived in this week's experiment by Dr. Joshua Gooley. He heads the Chronobiology and Sleep Laboratory at Duke NUS Graduate Medical School, Singapore. I will not sleep a wink for 30 hours.
While everyone inevitably pulls all-nighters on occasion, some amongst us do it for long stretches of time. Where's the harm in that? Professor Michael Chi tells me.
Well, earlier on in the program, we talked about the effect of sleep deprivation on attention, memory, and decision making. But in addition to its cognitive effects or its effects on the brain, sleep loss also has a very negative effect on metabolism. Specifically, persons who habitually restrict themselves from sleep tend to gain weight, have a higher risk of developing diabetes mellitus, and also have a higher risk of heart attacks. Now, one thing that is interesting is that if you stay up all night, the brain signals for having been sufficiently fed are weakened, so you think that you have not had enough food even though you had a perfectly good dinner. And this faulty signaling results in increased tendency to eat without knowing it, and you pile on the pounds. The other thing that's interesting is that if you habitually restrict sleep, the secretion of the body's main stress hormone or cortisol is elevated, and this has negative effects on metabolism. It tends to tip you towards a diabetic type state, and also this elevated cortisol is not good for brain cells, particularly those relating to memory.
Wow.
To put things in perspective, as little as 24 hours of total sleep deprivation leads to a detectable change in performance that has been equated to a blood alcohol level of 0.1%. And that is over the legal blood alcohol limit. Needless to say, if you don't sleep, don't drive. Hi, Dr. Gooley.
Hello.
Now, someone has sent me to you to take part in a sleep experiment, which apparently involves me not sleeping.
That is correct.
Great. So, Dr. Gooley, you've been studying sleep for a while now. Where does this interest in sleep stem from?
I first became interested in sleep when I was a teenager. I slept a lot of hours. I was always sleeping in, and my parents were concerned. They're actually worried, why is this kid sleeping so much?
Sounds like me.
But my interest in why do we sleep X number of hours? Why does sleep change when we get older? These are still unanswered questions in sleep research, and this really drew me into the field.
So, what happens tomorrow?
Just turn up. We'll take care of the rest.
Something that I should avoid doing before I start this test?
Are you a coffee drinker?
Very much so.
Can I ask you to please refrain from coffee tomorrow morning?
Would it be cheating to have a full flask just before I come?
Yes. No caffeine. okay?
No caffeine, basically.
No caffeine. So come in well rested, and then we'll sleep deprive you.
So during my 30 hours incarceration, am I allowed to have anything with me?
You can bring some personal items, however, there are some things we don't allow.
Okay.
We keep a time-free environment. We don't want you to know what time of day it is, because if you did, it might affect how you perform and how you rate your alertness on some of the tests that we do.
Okay.
So that means no phone, no laptop. You're living in the chronobiology hotel.
Lovely. Now, during this 30 hours, I will be fed and watered, won't I?
We will feed you.
Okay.
Yes, we will, and we'll give you drinks. However, it's on a unique kind of schedule. So
Okay.
instead of having breakfast, lunch, and dinner, we're going to give you multiple small meals spread out over the course of the 30 hours.
And that's also designed to keep me awake.
It will help keep you guessing as well as what time of day it is.
And I'll have toilet breaks, presumably.
No. Yes, yes, you will. No, you'll have the opportunity to go to the bathroom.
Are there certain types of, I don't know, personality that are kind of predisposed to performing better during sleep deprivation?
In our experience, our best performer happened to be someone who was in the military. His performance didn't change that much, but that's the exception to the rule. Most of the time, people do show a severe deficit in performance after about 24 hours or so. With 30 hours of sleep deprivation, I would predict that you will have difficulty.
Oh, yeah?
Would you like to place a wager on this?
No.
Okay. Having said all this, are you ready for tomorrow?
No. But let's do it anyway.
Very well then.
Excellent. I'll see you
All right.
tomorrow.
I will see you tomorrow.
Thanks very much. In the first episode of Chasing Sleep, we went through a laborious process to establish that generally 6.5 to 7.5 hours of sleep is what human beings need if they want to spend a decent amount of time here on this earth. But as is usually the case in television, I will now be put to a test which is contrary to everything that has been deemed good and true. My producers have volunteered me to stay awake for 30 consecutive hours. Dr. Gooley.
Did you have any coffee this morning?
No, I didn't.
Okay, very good. So Adrian, I want to introduce you to some of our staff. So this is Eric.
Eric, hi.
Adrian.
Hi, Adrian, hi.
This is Ivan.
Ivan, hello, how's it going?
And this is Pauline.
Hello, Pauline.
Hi.
Pauline, ladies and gentlemen. Goodbye, world.
So Adrian,
Wow.
this is the room that you'll be living in for the next 30 hours.
Okay.
I just want you to know that you'll be on camera at all times. We'll be monitoring your progress from outside.
Okay.
We'll also have people come in and monitor you as well. As you notice, we have no windows. Once you get into bed, you'll stay in bed.
Okay. I believe I'm allowed one phone call. Honey? Yeah. If I'm not back in 30 hours, call the police. Okay. Okay.
I'll take that.
Oh, yes. Okay.
Anything else?
No, I think I'm set. Yeah, I've got my ukulele.
Your ukulele.
My ukulele,
Very
yes.
important.
What more do I need?
The clock had started ticking. My sleep deprivation experiment starts now.
Oh, hello. Just writing a song about you.
Oh, really?
Gooly, oh gooly.
So now we need to take your body weight. Based on your weight, we'll know how much food to give you during the course of the study. We're about to give Adrian his first meal.
Wake me up before you go.
He's actually going to be getting granola, and he's going to get 28 grams of granola every 2.5 hours, but he doesn't know this. He also gets a little bit of juice and a little bit of water, so we sure hope that he likes granola.
Okay, Adrian.
Hello.
Room service.
Oh, great. What is it? Like,
Coming into it.
it's like bird food.
Oh, wow. Instead, they're going to serve me a meal. This is it. This is my meal. My 3-course meal. So poor thing. Don't watch it. It's too sad.
Hello.
Well, now it's time to put on your electrodes. Okay?
Great.
All right, Adrian, we're about to do electrodes, so
Great.
we're just bringing in some supplies.
Supplies.
Yes. We need to put the electrodes onto just the right sites on your head to measure your brainwave activity.
Okay.
So you'll be cabled to a device that sends a signal into our control room, and we can watch in real time your brainwave activity. We'll be getting these tests every so often to look at how well you can perform during sleep deprivation. This electrode that we put on your forehead, the large gray one, that's actually for measuring your skin temperature. So we use this information to know what time of day it is inside of your body. It's for measuring your internal body clock.
Ah, okay.
Yes. Okay, Adrian, if I may have your attention for a moment.
Yeah, sure. I'll just put it on auto.
Okay, anytime that you hear this music come on, it means it's time to take a test battery. So I'm going to be walking you through your first set of tests. So this simply asks you to rate how you feel. We give you a line with two extremes, sad versus happy.
Quite happy.
You're quite happy. That's good to hear. So you see the gray box straight in front of you. This is a reaction time test. As soon as you see a number appear, your job is to press the button on the response box as quickly as you can. It's actually a counter, so it tells you how fast you were in milliseconds. Now for a healthy person who's very focused, very alert, a score between 200 and 300 milliseconds is what one usually achieves.
You're welcome. Click on pump balloon to make the balloon bigger.
You see this green balloon in the middle of the screen?
Yeah.
And there's actually a counter at the bottom of the screen that tells you how much cash you've earned. The way that you earn cash is by pumping the balloon. So each pump increases the value of the balloon. However, if you pump it too much, it will burst and you get nothing. So it assesses how risky your decisions are.
There you go.
You just burst your first balloon.
I have. Come on! Okay, that's just as a gauge.
Congratulations.
Okay.
You finally cashed in. Okay, very good, Adrian.
Thank you.
You just finished your first series of tests.
Yes.
Ah, yummy.
Hungry?
Oh, you know. I better eat this if I'm gonna last through the next God knows how many hours. It's so dry. It's so dry. But you will not break me.
Hello.
So it's actually time for you to take more computer tests.
Oh, joy. Okay.
Welcome to the auditory two-bag task. A series of numbers will be called out loud. As soon as a number is called out, you must decide, is this the same number that was called out 2 numbers ago?
1, 6, 10,
Press the button if it's no.
5, 9, 6.
Really hard.
It's intended to be quite difficult, yes.
Yeah, well, you managed to achieve that intention.
Let's move to the next test. Okay.
Oh, I'm gonna be
begin.
so rubbish at this. I'm sorry, Mommy.
Remember, you're supposed to go as fast as you can.
Oh, really? There's a time limit? Oh, my. Okay, 64 plus 21 is something. 10 plus 93 is something else.
That was way off.
It was completely off, wasn't it? Yes. No, no, will you stop whispering the wrong answers to me? Oh, please switch it up. It's too traumatic.
One more test. All right, this one examines your divided attention. Okay, so we're going to ask you to do 3 things at the same time. You're going to track the moving object. Anytime it turns orange, we want you to click the button. And whenever you hear an even number, press the button on the response box.
3, 4.
Good job.
Thank you.
Okay, well, these are the tests that we're going to be giving you time and time again during the course of the experiment. So Adrian is going through sleep deprivation. The longer a person has been awake, the more sleepy they get, and their cognitive function is impaired. That's why we're giving him tests like addition, divided attention, reaction time. We think that all of these processes are going to be compromised with sleep deprivation.
Four, 3.
No, really.
you have to
please, no, really, no, please, please, no, please.
Yes, you have to.
Please. I'm at my breaking point already. I can feel myself performing worse and worse each time I have to do the test.
Man.
Hey,
Hello.
yeah, so you have diagnosed that.
Yeah, I think I'm.
So can I clear this, John?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, what is this? Oh my goodness! It's granola!
Oh my goodness,
You
that's
have to
disgusting.
finish
Must have been left
this.
by a previous victim.
How long have you been collecting this?
That's a trick question because I have no idea. Feel free to punish me.
Yep, sure. Now you must finish 2 of these. I'll open it for you. You have to finish it because I'm watching you from outside.
I can't wait. Because I'm watching you too.
Adrian, we are watching you.
I'm just, saving it for a rainy day.
Your reward! You need to eat the leftover granulas.
Wow! I love you, Pauline.
Oh, thank you.
Let me present you our certificate of participation.
It's a green balloon.
Could you blow it up?
用豆腐，用豆腐。Yeah, really, this really makes me appreciate sleep and food a lot more. I tell you that. Freedom. Oh my goodness, and it's still enclosed. I want to see the sun. I even want to see the rain if it's raining.
All right, Adrian, congratulations.
Oh, thank you very much. Thanks for having me, and thanks for your hospitality, guys.
Thank you.
Nice to have spent the night with all of you. Take care, guys. Thanks very much. Bye.
Bye.
Thus far, short-term sleep deprivation puts us on a course towards lapses in recognition and lapses in memory.
Some nights ago, I was here at the Duke NUS Chronobiology and Sleep Laboratory at the Singapore General Hospital, where I stayed in a sound-attenuated room, ate countless little meals, and performed over 100 tests to assess my performance. I'm now here to find out what that outcome is. Oh, one little detail. I was also made to stay awake for 30 continuous hours. Yes. Morning, Dr. Gooley.
May I offer you some granola?
No, please, it's all yours.
All right, very well then. Would you like to see some of your results? From the sleep deprivation study?
I would love to see my results,
Okay.
please. Thank you.
So we put a skin temperature patch on your forehead,
Oh, okay.
as you recall,
Yes.
and we monitored your skin temperature across a 24-hour time span. And of course, you're awake this entire time.
Yes.
So more or less, the forehead skin temperature rhythm tracks the rhythm of alertness. So we would expect that your alertness levels would be at their lowest right around here, between about 5 a.m. and 7 a.m. Your forehead skin temperature, as well as many other rhythms of the body, are under control of a central clock in the brain. So first, let's take a look at your brainwave signals. So what we've done is we've taken out your brainwave activity from the reaction time tests. So this is your brainwave activity in the slow wave activity range during the reaction time test. So slow wave activity is usually most prevalent during sleep. So when you go to sleep, the brain sort of slows down and there's much more of this slow wave, what we call delta activity.
Okay.
Now, if someone is sleep deprived, you'll actually see some delta activity getting into their waking brainwave signals. And so now, knowing this, take a look at this graph. Your brainwave activity shows that your slow wave activity was fairly low during the early part of the experiment. Then at around 3 a.m., your brain really started to slow down in terms of its activity. Yes, it's a very dangerous time to be on the road. The longer a person stays awake, the more likely they'll have a lapse in judgment. But on top of that, you also have an internal drive coming from the internal body clock, and it's actually telling you to be asleep at that hour. So these two factors combined make for a very dangerous situation. There have been studies that have looked at this for single vehicle car accidents. They reach their peak at around 5 to 7 a.m. That's the worst time to be on the road.
Right.
Okay, during the mood scales, we also ask you to rate how happy or sad you were. Yes, quite a dramatic change during the course of the sleep deprivation. When you first came in, you were about 90% happy. You were a very happy guy.
Yes,
And
I
then
was on something.
caused you to become less happy over time. But you really did hit a trough here in terms of your happiness. You were quite sad.
I was very sad.
I mean, to put a positive spin on it, you're about 10% happy there.
No, it was, yeah, I hit a low point.
Okay, so after this, you took the reaction time test. Now, you actually had a pretty fast reaction time time when you're well rested. But over time, you can see it's quite obvious that you can't respond as quickly to the stimulus. So you were asked to pump up a balloon up to the point where you thought, okay, I'll cash in and take the value of the balloon, right?
Yeah.
So early on, fairly conservative. You pumped up the balloon to a certain amount, around 55 cents or so, I'll stop. This is where I'll cash in. Now, very interestingly, after about 24 hours, there's this tremendous spike in your cash-in value, which means that you're taking a bigger risk.
It mattered less and less to me that I was losing more and more.
You were in a room with no time cues, casinos, no clocks. It's very easy to lose track of time in a casino. Games are very fun to play, whether or not money is on the line. So you can imagine that at a certain time, people might be taking bigger chances. So you were asked to add. All right? These are the results for the addition task. You had a tough time adding.
I just do anyway.
You started off solving your math problems at a rate of about 1 every 5 seconds. Okay. And you became progressively worse as the study went on. And then you got better. So this is more or less what we call a second wind phenomenon, where a person performs worse and then better again, even though they've been awake longer. And the reason for this second wind is this internal circadian clock. This signal is promoting alertness at this time. So it's not as if I stay awake longer, I'll eventually be very good at performing again. Yes, there's some rebound, some recovery in your performance, but you never quite get back at that rested level. I mean, the story is, you just can't overcome your body's urge to sleep. Well, Adrian, I want to thank you for taking part in our experiment. I think we learned a lot.
I certainly have.
Well, before you go, I just have one parting gift for you.
Oh, that's nice.
Adrian?
This is modern society. It's futile fighting the modern age. But it is worthy to note that our bodies have not developed as fast as our inventions. Human beings were meant to sleep, then and now. Good night.